Hey everybody. I figured I should wrap up that run, but I realized I'm late, so I just called it there. I took a death on that one jump, so I just almost. I'll finish that game later. Anyway, we have a mystery triathlon race. Two of them actually. Yeah, I did lose to Proton John. That makes us 1-1 in Kuso matches. Maybe next time. I don't know if I was beating that stage there on that go anyway, so I'll finish that game later. We have a mystery triathlon match. Let's get that going. You'll see plenty more of that, I guarantee it, because I certainly did learn to speedrun almost the first 7 levels. That 8th one's where I'm stuck currently. I just needed... If this were a 2-hour race, I think I might have won. Currently, John made it further than me. But you kind of get it down to a science. I'm gonna beat that game later. Now I do have some real gems for this group. This is group R, isn't it? Let me see. Group S. Group S is Drastic Actions, Now Wonk Toe, and Trusty Warner. Let's get them on screen. It plays real badly because of the frame rate mostly. That game I was just playing. If you're curious about that, if that's what you're asking me about. It plays like it looks. It plays like a game that runs at a frame slideshow. So you have to hold up to do jumps. The biggest enemies in the game are all Goombas, and dealing with them is tough. But they are just that, so, you know, once you can beat a Goomba, you ain't gonna die. Mostly. Yeah. Let's see if they pick the Stallion or Zebra pack first here. I gotta get these updated to be their actual streams. How professional of me. Well, I just did get out of a race. It was kind of silly to cue this in the same day. But here we are. I want to do the stripes, the zebras first. This is the really bad pack. The zebra pack is a trap. Zebra task list. Bill and Ted. Tell somebody that you are Ted. San Dimas. Peter Pan. MPE. Get your crown. Dragon power. Defeat Pudgy. To help Nora collect another crystal ball. Ted and Bill there, Ted and Bill, as they're known, is pretty damn unintuitive. Pretty damn lousy. I do not think that if I were given that on Kusa that I would keep playing it after the bell. Unlike that last game, which was just a low frame rate platformer, there's nothing beyond that for that me. I really didn't have a bad time playing that. It's just input queuing. I've done it before. But this is lousy. This is truly terrible. I really hate Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, especially because of how good it should be. How good the movie is. How much you're gonna hate Keanu Reeves after you see this. It's not his fault. Bill and Ted's Excellent Video Game Adventure is an NES game that is so unintuitive that the game fac is confused about how to tell you how to play because most of it's random. Yeah, I love Keanu Reeves. I've seen most of his movies, and I adore this movie. This movie is amazing. This is my childhood, this movie. I loved it. And I'm not sure about the sequel, but it's not too bad, I guess. This game, though, can go right to hell. Let me get the cover art for this and tweet it. I am officially out of the Kusa tournament. I made it. I lost my first match. Then I made it through most of the lower bracket. Not all of it, though. I still had quite a ways to go to actually win. But, you know what? Tournaments are kind of hard for me right now. I'm busy with my own, so I don't mind losing. I said that last time. I didn't really mind. The real reason I lost is because they let Proton John check his rank mid-game and boosted his confidence levels and shattered my spirits. He won through stress, manipulation, I'm waiting for my players to go online here. They showed me all the elements I needed to learn in stages 1 and 2. That's the whole game. And it's all about learning the inputs exactly on how to handle those. And I mastered the falling platforms eventually, but it took me the longest of all the things I ran into. You hold up to keep jumping, or hold right, or both. You must be holding something, or else you're going to lose the inputs somewhere. You have to hold one of those two. That's the ticket to that. I mean, ultimately, I still died 3 times in stage 8, or whatever. So if John cleared that, then I didn't ever have a chance in that amount of time. It begins. Welcome to Bill and Ted. I'm not going to say anything about how to play this until all the players are done with it. And if you know in the chat, please resist that urge, because the directions I gave them aren't helpful. I'm looking for them to tell somebody in a dialogue tree that they are Ted of San Dimas. They need to figure out how to get to gameplay at all, first of all. Just like Trusty already has made it through the first part, the phone call. A pretty rough part, actually. Pretty confusing. Let's play this OST, because this music's too good for what we're watching. The OST is probably the least bad part of this. Okay, so they all have figured out the phone book. It's random. It's randomly picking a level. And it's doing that by giving you a bunch of numbers like 555 1776 was Washington's black number, which is just useless, actually. Maybe that's just the year it goes to, because that's not the number to call him. The number to call him was red, and it's only red on one person in that manual, so you have to look through the phone book to figure out who is red this time and call that number. So I think we're going to see 4 different stages, and they're dialing the number now. Dialing it sucks. They're still working on that, so we'll talk about that when we get that done. This challenge is as easy as I could reasonably make it. It's to do this phone call and then find an important NPC. What you're actually supposed to do in this game is wander around and find bait for the person you're looking for, the notable historical figure, and rescue them with the bait. There's 3 fake baits and 1 real one, and you talk to the peasants here to figure out which one's real and where it's at. So we're not doing any of that. We're ignoring all that nonsense. Also, if you bump into the enemy, they arrest you, put you in jail. No, you gotta find some random NPC, there's a bunch, to talk to instead, and just get to that dialogue tree. So the real challenge is figuring out the phone call, which 2 people have done already, and then finding such an NPC, and there's a few. Got to navigate this awful world, though. I didn't make them have to look for bait or whatever. I would never be able to beat this game. I don't even know where to get started. You can talk to any NPC who's standing still, and anyone who's moving will arrest you. And that means also, you'll notice that Trusty Warner just talked to that guy, and now he's moving. He's bad now. He's dangerous now. He gave you a coin, and now he wants to kill you. So there's that. Stage 1, they want you to rescue 1 person. Stage 2, I think they want you to rescue multiple people. Also, you can't walk in the grass sometimes, and sometimes you can. And if you jump into the grass in the wrong place, you might be in trouble. Trusty Warner may have found a person here. Hey, they've done it. 3.5 minutes. They're moving on to a much worse game, actually. Peter Pan's motion picture is actually the bad game here, as challenges go. Enjoy. Bill and Ted's notably atrociousness is a trap. It's not the bad game at all. I made the challenge so easy that people will finish it for sure. Motion picture Peter Pan NES. Or is it even NES? No, it's Game Boy Advance. This thing's a real nightmare. Trusty's moving on. They can't believe it. They're gonna have to get through the plot. Also, it's kind of weird because they kind of mix this in with the cartoon. They can't decide if it's the cartoon or what. So I guess this is not Hook. It's some other movie, right? And it's like a mix of Hook and the cartoon is what it feels like. You're definitely playing a child who's chasing a shadow. You're not Robin Hood adult here, unfortunately. Press the R button to jump. I still feel, I think as bad as these games are, these are beatable challenges and they're gonna get through them all probably. I expect everyone to finish. I usually expect everyone to finish anyway, but as far as playability goes, there's more of that in these games than in American Gladiators. Bill and Ted's is just like an adventure game though. Now Wonk is still dialing numbers. Every time you dial the wrong number, you end up losing money too. Thanks for the sub. I think now Wonk's finished dialing numbers. What other music we got in Bill and Ted's? Oh. I see. There's a pretty good chance that you could get lost in Bill and Ted's and just never find anybody if you just don't figure out how this walking works, but it looks like everyone's figuring out something with it. So this pan challenge, they're about quarter of the way to it now. They have to do this shmup section. It's not too bad. They have to learn how to fight and beat the pirates. They have to beat the Lost Boys in a similar manner, and then finally they're doing the ferry. The ferry stole their crown and they need it back. That's the final battle here in this challenge. And that's not too far away. 5 minutes would probably do it if they're perfect at it. And they could be, if they're good at beat-em-ups. And if they're good at insane ferry catching mini-games. That's really a hard one. But we'll see how they do. Drastic Actions is done. Moving on to Peter Pan as well. Leaving just now Wonk to find their way. Now Wonk's probably got it. I think Bill and Ted is officially cleared. Oh, nope, never mind. That's just Ted. It's himself. That's not anybody to talk to. That sucks. That's randomly bad. He went to the same place the other players did, and he got screwed. He's got to keep looking. Too bad. I don't think I'll be able to find music for this Game Boy Advance Peter Pan, but maybe. I did. Let's play it. So what the hell is this? Peter Pan, the motion picture event. What is this? This game came out in 1988 and they remade it for the Game Boy Advance. I guess. Toe is at the final event already. This event sucks. They have to catch these fairies before they lose 17 coins more here. They have 20. He's doing really well. He's caught 2 and only lost 5 coins. If you fail, you start all over. Making real good progress. 6 coins down, and the hitbox on catching them doesn't make any sense. So, you know, you could spend the whole challenge here if things go bad for you, but it looks like Tao has the handle on this. With only 2 to go and 11 coins, plenty of headway. 1 more fairy, 10 coins left, doing really well. Making extremely good time. Got the crown, okay. They're moving on to Dragon Power, which is actually a decent game. 7 minutes they beat Peter Pan. Nice work. Okay, there's Nora. Using the dragon radar to find the crystal balls. That is Goku though. His name is Goku. So this is a game where you punch enemies, they drop capsules. The capsule turns into something. Usually it's meat. Meat is great because your HP up there, the POW, if it ever goes empty, you're starting the game over. From the chapter you're on. So you gotta constantly be eating stuff or you're doomed. And that's even without taking damage. But you take quite a bit of damage, as you can see. Yeah, the turtle hermit wants sandwiches, so you gotta get him some sandwiches. Knowing the way that these get translated, I have no idea what the hell the original line is supposed to be. Tell's got the running speed. I think I know what Roshi wanted, and I don't think that NES would have allowed it. So I was actually playing through this just to make sure that it was okay to broadcast. But yeah, he wants sandwiches this time from Nora in a better world. Both of our pan players are in the same place. I actually had a hard time catching my shadow. I couldn't figure it out, but I got him eventually. And I had a hard time with the fairies too. In this challenge, those are the two hurdles. Trusty's working on it now. Oh no, they went too far. Now they've default lost this challenge. Five coins left, 3 fairies down. This isn't good, looking good. But there's no huge penalty. You just go back in time, try again. They're dealing with hitboxes. I'm just amazed how good Tao was at this. I'm fine, but get that band of thieves. Let's go, we can't hang around. Okay, they made it through a chapter, so they're going to be locked into chapter 2 here soon. If they can just keep alive just a little bit longer, they're almost there. Trusty lost it. 6 fairies. Drastic Actions is taking second place currently if they're good at the fairy game. They're getting bullied. Okay. Who will defeat the fairies first? All 3 players are stuck here where I figured people would be. And this really highlights how well Todd did at, I don't know, predicting. I don't understand this part very well. There's a couple things that just sometimes the game just doesn't make any sense, and this is one of them. The hitbox on this doesn't make any sense. Trusty needs 2 more, and he has 2 coins. It's not good. Nope, back to start. Now Wonk is taking second place after that horrible Bill and Ted experience. Actually finished. Moving on to Dragon Power. I'd much rather play the OST from that than this, so let's switch on over. Yeah, good jams. Toe is dead. Oh, that sucks. Where are they at? I think you start with 3 crystal ball. Yeah, they are doing a bits booster if you add purple hearts to the thing. I don't know exactly the details about that, but I think Tall lost all their progress on this game, unfortunately. That puts them back at the start. They have just experience on their side now. Everyone's on this game. This is going to be the decider after all of that. After all that Bill and Ted crushing in 3 minutes. And Peter Pan in 7. The lead is lost, and now if the players are good at Dragon Power, they're going to win this race. I feel like you can continue if you make it to Chapter 2. I think you can, but only then. The first boss there is really mean. Worst part of the whole challenge is that big guy with the sword. You just want to deal with him as easily as you can and pick up some health later. Find a cupcake in this game, you get 100 health. That's more than you start with ultimately because you already have some when you grab it no matter what. You can go over 100, so you could become quite an immortal little dude if you get the right power-ups, if you find them. Let me look it up. I don't know what these items are supposed to be. Let me find that manual. This part that tells that is kind of confusing. We'll see if they work it out. They haven't actually made it to Chapter 2 yet. I thought they would last time they were here, is the thing. There's a bunch of doors in this area that are traps. I got stuck here for a minute or two myself. No, that was it right there. That looked like an actual cupcake to me. But yeah. Toast found the turtle, which is hidden inside of that stone. That's the way forward for some reason. Let it go. Pudgy. Chapter 2. Toe has made it to chapter 2. First one here. There is a stick that you can just permanently upgrade with if you find it. It is probably the best thing to find short of a ton of health. I saw Trusty had it. But now I'm pretty sure that Toe is locked into chapter 2. I think they've made it to the point where they're safe to try and finish this level out. We just ran out of music, so I'll just put on my... Unless you want to go back to Peter Pan's. Pudgy is Pudgy. Okay, so Toe's making a big mistake here. I don't know what the hell's going on, but these people chase you and murder you if you punch their statues and they come to life. I don't know what this joke is. They have hearts coming off of them. I don't know what's going on. But it's bad news, I'll tell you that. It's an empty room otherwise, too. How are other players doing? I have 5 capsule room, nice. I don't know what the hell the turtle shells do. I couldn't figure out how to use them. Didn't seem like they did anything. There's 9, 12 turtles. The pig, Pudgy, is posing as some of these statues, so maybe your goal is to bust them all open. Ugh, what's this thing? Jeez. The key is acquired. I don't know if you need to fight these things to leave, but they're really painful. Oh. Where the heck does this key go? The stage we're looking for is quite different than the other ones. Toe's going down. The problem here is that even though they survived, they're dead from just poison damage, really. This game just finishes you off. You can't get away with low health. You'll just get finished. Let's see how their time limit's doing here. I feel like they're running out because they finished quickly. They have a couple minutes, like 5, to finish this level. Less than 5 minutes left for Toe to figure out what the hell is going on in level 2. And if the other players do not, and it doesn't look like they're gonna beat level 2 in that time, Toe wins by default. So it's actually a good thing, one way or the other. They're running out of time for them. They spent a long time in this maze. The other players are having way more trouble with stage 1 than I expected. Nowonk has found the boulder, but they didn't survive. Ugh. I hate the decoy enemies. Man, they're so mean. They hurt so bad. Let's see if Drastic can finish this. Toa's made it to the level. This is it. It's Pudgy. I can't get mad. He's not. He's just saying that. He can't get. He just doesn't have that emotion. Toe has finished all 3 games in 28:55. Nice work. Toe got 3rd the first match. This is their 2nd round, so this is really good news for Toe. They're 4 points now. A very good place to be for this last match coming right up. And it looks like Drastic Actions has found Pudgy and is the Dragon Power expert of the group. That puts them, after a pretty bad time in Bill and Ted's, and a fair time in Peter Pan's. They caught up for 2nd place at 30:18. They finished all 3 challenges as well. That's the 2nd time in a row Drastic Actions has taken 2nd. Who gets 3rd? I'm looking at 2 players in the same place, one poisoned to death. I got my big heal in this area. Nowonk knows how to go forward, but if they don't get an HP booster here, they're in real trouble. Ah, jeez. That's too bad. It's all about those capsules. Farming those capsules and beating this boss without too much trouble are two big factors in beating level 1. Like I said, I got a 100 HP booster after the boss fight, so that's a big one. You gotta find that. I don't know if it's random though. The boss is consistently doing like 50 damage. It sucks. The nice thing is that the capsules are not uncommon, so taking the time to pick them all up is good. Hey, it's the second boss. Oh, there's two of them, and they're both the same garbage. Not long's been defeated by it. Let's take a look at our boss stats. Now one got here in 17 minutes. Trusty Warner actually is around the same time, 17 minutes and 50 seconds, 52 seconds. If they time out here, we're going to see a difference of about 10 seconds in Now Wonk's favor. I think Nawong wants to know how to use those turtle shells, and so do I, really, but I couldn't figure it out. There might be some kind of fighter input to do. I don't understand what they are or how they're used. They must do something. They're blinking. It looks like Trusty has made it through stage 1. Just crushed it that time. They're nearly out of time though. They could finish if they do everything right here, but without having played the level before and having no idea what to do. How's that gonna happen? We'll see. I can't believe this game has decent music when it's so crappy. I don't really know how the hell you get into this last fortress. Once you're there, you pretty much have won. You bust the pot, you find your dude. Let's see if they find it. I think you need a key though first. What the? On a bonus level. Maybe. Wait. Oh, I don't know what happened with that. Hammer dudes killed him right in front of the fort. That might have been the final place. Nowonk is out of time at 37:39. And any second now we're going to get the other update. $38.02. Time is up. Trusty Warner got 4th there. Nowonk 3rd. That's 1 point for Nowonk. $21 seconds. 23 seconds difference there. See you in the stallion room. This is the second time I've used the zebra pack. I didn't realize that. Any case, first time I've used stallion, I think. And here it comes. Let's see if y'all know these games. You probably do. Double Dragon 2. Clear the boat. That's level 3. Actually, it's level 4 if you count the helicopter. Mega Man 04. Find the level select map. They gotta get through 2 tutorials. If you're saying to yourself, wow, these games don't seem so bad, well... real monsters. Reach the gym. Let's clear that board and get them set up. Round 3 of S. This is the end of their group. Current scores: Drastic at 4, Toe at 4, Trusty at 3, Nowonk at 1. None of these players are out yet, but Nowonk really needs some luck to get in there. He needs first, and actually if one of the other 2 players gets 3rd or 4th, let me see, I think they need Trusty to get 3rd, and Drastic or Toe to get 4th, and them to get 1st, and they would be in this, possibly. For a 3-way tie. Anyway. I don't think anyone's out just yet. Let's load up that amazing soundtrack for a change. I'm tired of pretending that this game music has been good in these weird ones. Now we have the real stuff playing and I don't have to pretend anymore. One more player needs to hit ready, and then we'll get started. This is the end of Group S. One more group down here. And us in this tournament at 90% completion in the group stage. Ten-second code. It begins. I gave them notes on this game if you haven't played Double Dragon 2 before. One of the wild things they decided to do to make the controls worse than in the first one. Oh, I didn't start my timer over. Well, it's 20 seconds ahead. I think I can work around that. Anyway, one of the things they did in Double Dragon 2, for some reason, is had the buttons for punch and kick rotate based on the way you're facing. You can only ever kick behind you. And kick, as usual, is better than punch. Punching is pretty useless, except for the uppercut that you can get, but you can get that without going through the 5-hit combo that it does. The problem is the combo usually gets your ass kicked. You have some other techniques, though. Really good ones. You have the whirlwind kick thing for a while here. It holds up real well. It knocks them real far. You also have an uppercut that you can use on the fly when you're crouching. You press punch, you fire that, or it ends your combo on the punch. We just saw Toad do it to the guy, hit him in the ceiling. The other move you have, I told them how to do it. It's a flying knee kick of sorts. It's incredible. Its damage is outrageous. It butchers these guys. You do it by jump kicking while crouching. So after a jump, usually you're crouching, you do another one, and you just knee them from across the screen. Trusty's on their last life. Toad's wiped out. There's a lot of challenge here. This challenge is not long. Trusty's in front of the exit door, actually. There's a little bit more stage after that. Just a little. One single room with no enemies in it. It's probably the hardest part of the thing. But this quarters that you're in, you can't jump in it. And you have to fight the Schwarzenegger-looking dude, and also Abobo comes out. He's the final boss of this area. You have to do it without jumping. Oh, you can jump there, where there's a hole in the ceiling. It's pretty tight, though. This kind of sucks. They're also a life down. I took a life from them. You start with 3, and that's all you get for the whole game. You don't ever get any more, no matter what your score is. I don't think you ever earn a single life back. Abobo has killed Trusty. They're back to the start. Drastic is having trouble with the spikes there. If they can kill Abobo, their chance of winning is pretty good, but it's not guaranteed because the room after that is real mean. This might be a challenge that doesn't get finished, even though it's only a 2-minute challenge. We're gonna see people do this 10 times in a row and lose to Abobo or the last jump over and over again. That's what this is. Allison, thanks for the sub. This is the level following the helicopter scene, so if that's 2.5, this is 3. You can call it stage 4 if you think the helicopter is a stage, but really all you have to do in that level is hold right. The jungle after this is pretty mean too, and I was thinking about using that instead. A whole different set of problems there. A whole lot more Double Dragon style problems. This level's nonsense. Players are handling the first corridor pretty well. It's pretty easy to get stun locked there. Drastic has made it to the jump, and he didn't make it through the jump. That's the last room in this challenge. It sucks. He didn't make it. He's got to start over, but we got to see it that time. Drastic knows how to get there now, right? Gotta repeat those beat 'em up skills, but that is the last section. That door marks the exit to the boat. So Drastic, the one who made it through pretty easily, is now getting stun locked. I'll tell you what happened to me when I first tried to make this challenge. I actually wiped out to Arnold over here. He just stun locked me in the corner. I couldn't even move. To death. I got a complete game over here the first time I did this. I got it on my second try, all the way to the jump where I wiped out again. On my third try, after 10 minutes of losing, I did beat this piece of junk. I've beaten this whole game before, and what you have to do that is reliably get through these stages. You can't afford to die here. You only get those 3 lives, as far as I can tell. I mean, unless I'm not farming points right or something and you get some later, I don't seem to get any when I play through here, so... You have to do all this nonsense, especially the platforming death traps, without fail perfectly. This is part of why this game sucks when it shouldn't. It could have been as good as the first game, which only has a little bit of that. But the third one's even worse with that. It just gets harder and harder to beat these impossible games. It's like they're stealing quarters from you, but there's no quarter to put in. It's crazy hard. These are some of the most difficult retro games I can think of. Double Dragons 2, and I mean the first one isn't a walk in the park either. The gauntlet at the end, finding the way through the woods, and then doing that whole cave section. The blocks that come out of the wall in stage 4 and slam you. But really, the gauntlet at the end especially, just a guy with a machine gun, and he's not even the final boss. Pretty nasty. So this game didn't just make this difficulty up, but Drastic has 2 health left to beat a Bobo, and it can be done. If he can work it out. If he can get a jump kick on him, a knee kick that is to say, he'd probably kill him with that, just that. But he's trapped. Damn. He got taken out. Like, that really is the last little bit of health you need. 0 is just as good as full when you're doing that final jump. I love the soundtrack. One of the things about this series is they don't pull punches. They're going to play good music the whole time through. Even if no one ever got to the final stage, they've still got good music for you on it. Toe's taking their turn on a Bobo, and Trusty's as well. Trusty has an extra life in the pipe here, and it would be great if they could get there with that. If they could just get past a Bobo with that extra life in tow, they might actually make it. A first trial death, and then a second trial death, and then 10 more lives of trying later. Maybe they'll get it. They're in there with their extra life, and so is Toe. Let's see if anyone can do this jump. Toe's immediately dead. Trusty's immediately dead. Trusty's dead again. He walked out the ledge. Oh man. Classics of gaming. Let's play the mission that they're on here. It's amazing music, and it's considered mission 4 for sure, so. There are 8 missions in this game and a final boss, by the way, so we're only halfway in here in case people think I'm being mean with mission 4, and it's not even that long, really. I mean, it is. It's just a really hard game. I think the big thing is the knee kick, and that's why I told them how to use it. Even on a Bobo here, you can sort of pull it off, and it's so nice to just be able to get rid of him. It does so much damage. 2 of them from full health will kill him, and 1 will kill nearly every other enemy in this game. Drastic is through. Let's see if they can do the jump this time. Oh no! Jumped the wrong way. There's a regular jump kick and a spinning dragon kick thing. It's pretty good, but it's no flying knee kick. Really, the damage on it is what's so significant. The damage is crazy high. It's absolutely strong. The helicopter kick is good mostly for knockback. There's a lot of stages where you can just knock the enemy off, and the helicopter kick will do that every time to all of the enemies. Drastic taking the elevator ride down again. Trusty with no HP left, getting beaten by Linda and her grenades, starting back over. Toe has 1 life left to do this and can probably pull it off. Now Wonk fighting a Bobo. I like that he has hair this time. Okay, now Wonk. Now Wonk's maybe got it. No! One of the big problems here is that Billy there doesn't stand up when you land for a long ass time. He just sits there and you fall off before you can walk again. Toes on a Bobo's 3 health left, maybe can pull it off. A Bobo's dangerous. He doesn't seem like he has as much health as he did in the first game, though, at least. He does a lot more grappling, though. Oh, he beat Toe. "13 minutes, no one's beaten the stage yet. I thought somebody would pull it off, and I figured they might gain a lot of time in this. Somebody could have done this in 2 minutes, like for real, just 2 minutes, straight through, a perfect play, and they'd be done. And they would have an 18-minute lead, I think, over a lot of the other players." Drastic is ready for the jump again. Oh, I walked off. What is this jump? There's a couple ways to do it, and I'll talk about it once it's finished. Here in 6 minutes, so I can talk about this jump. There are safe, reliable ways to do it. I'd say there's 2 ways to do it. Now Wonk on a Bobo with an extra life. He's got 2 tries at the jump. Oh, not this time. There it is. There's the safe way to do it. Now Wonk. Is he through? He's through. Yo! Now Wonk, first done. 15 minutes. Moving on to Mega Man 04. Now Wonk was not fooled. This music that's playing now, if you can imagine that jump, but there's no safe way to do it, and an entire stage is built out of it. And part of it is such a hard challenge, 2 jumps in a row, that I made an entire arcade pit challenge out of it, and I don't think anyone's beaten it yet. Also, you can fall off the boat. You sure can. Level 6 introduces Kaizo blocks to Double Dragons. Though they were in Double Dragon 1 a little bit. We're running out of time on Double Dragon 2. There's not much advantage left in beating it anymore. Now Wonk got 5 minutes, possibly. Very handy for him. He needs first place here to stay in this. To even have a chance at this, he has to get first place, just as a basic one of 2 steps requirement for him to stay in this tournament. So he's in good shape right now for that. Drastic has figured out safe ways to deal with a Bobo, I think. He's got him dead. Now he's got 2 jumps to beat this thing here. That's 1. Oh, he's made it. Drastic has cleared it as well. He's not in the door yet, though. Which is a hurdle on its own. Oh, he's scaring me with this nonsense that he's doing. Oh, man. Who put these damn belts here? He doesn't want to jump, and I can understand that. I can respect that, but I think he might have to. Whoa! Will he get in there? Oh man. This is stressful as hell. Trusty did it when I wasn't looking. Nice work, Trusty. 2 people done with dragons, and Drastic is scaring the hell out of me. What I do here is I jump in front of the door. I don't know about this walking business. He's really close to getting it, though. He just can't get the door to connect. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. He did it! Alright, nice! 3 done. Toe is working on it. 19 minutes. There's still time to save a couple seconds. 1913 for Drastic Actions. One of the first people to get to the jump finally got in there. The door has been defeated by most of the players. I don't think Toe has much time, but they still have time. Like I said, this whole challenge is 2 or 3 minutes from the start, so here they are at the final boss. They could still save 5 whole seconds if they kill a Bobo instantly and do the jump right away. I think we're gonna get to see them try it at least before their time hits. But I did start my clock wrong, so we'll see how wrong it is right now, I guess. He's taken to kicking a Bobo, which is probably a trait that he picked up from Double Dragons 1. I don't think that's the right solution, though. It seems like a pain in the ass. Toe is out of time. This game is finished. 20 minutes is up. I'm 5 seconds ahead on my clock. 5 seconds behind. Everyone's on 0. Which is a pretty good game, but it's a little confusing, and a lot of this challenge is going to be figuring out what the heck's going on. It's also not an easy game by any means. This is for Mega Man. These are a pretty hard series. The camera doesn't give you a lot of room to breathe, so you don't see what's going on a lot, and the damage taken versus given is just steep. They weren't given any controls, because I didn't know any of the controls, and I did this with just the blaster. We're just looking to get to the start of the game, really. We have 2 levels in the way, ultimately, before we get to this map. And there's some storyline in the way, too, that you have to talk to some NPCs to get through. Pressing the R button does something. It seems like it grabs enemies and copies their power. And I couldn't get it to throw away. L button dashes, and it's a low dash, so you can use it to run underneath the bullets of this boss, for example. So, there's some interesting stuff going on there. Drastic is working on, well, he just finished the first stage. So I don't actually know exactly what unlocks the second stage. Even though I did this morning, something, somewhere, causes these NPCs to stop screwing around and send you to the next level. You have to leave the command zone, I think, and talk to some dudes. I'm not sure which ones, but one of them sets an event flag that lets you move forward. And later on, you gotta do the same thing. So for this challenge, to keep it nice and easy, for the hard game that it is, honestly being afraid, Extreme Zero sent me this with the stipulation of doing 2 of the bosses, and I was afraid that they wouldn't be able to, because this game is pretty rough. So I neglected to use that and just wanted to see how these players handle Mega Man 04 if I just give them the tutorials. Basically, it's two stages of tutorial. Even though there's plot dumping in it, which isn't great. I feel like you're supposed to have a sword in this, and I don't know how you use it. Maybe you have to earn the right to use that sword. Now Wonk is on the second boss. A boss with a tremendous amount of HP and no good attacks. It drops missiles from the ceiling, punches at you, and jumps around. That's all it does. It's not very hard, but if you're not incredibly careful, you have to take a hit, and it hits so hard. It hits so mean. I beat this with as much health as Nowonk has. I guess what happens is you kind of just... You play it like a regular Mega Man game for a while, and then you realize you're almost dead, and you just start being incredibly careful, and this easy boss gets taken out just as well. So now Wonk with one hit left, one single hit. They're doing okay still. They've seen everything this boss does. He doesn't do anything new, so this really is the last fight before we just have plot dumping and a look for the map. Oh, he shouldn't have stayed in the corner there. Dang. That's a big loss. Now I got taken out right from the boss. Gonna have to grind that HP back down. Trusty Warner is nearly done in a very safe place with all that HP. Boss is defeated. Now all they have to do is advance the story. And I was mean enough to just not end it here. They have to find the map. So they do have to do this malarkey. All of our players are pretty close to the same place. The only one done with the boss fight so far is Trusty Warner, which puts them in front. We are in real time here. No one's passed or anything like that. Toe's beating the boss. Now Wong 2. Drastic just got here. Real Monsters is real bad, and it's going to be a game changer for everybody, I assure you. Just keep your eyes on the clock for that one, because that's going to be a full 20-minute for a lot of people, I think. The Gymnasium is stage 3. As soon as they see Gymnasium on screen, they've done it. I told them how the controls work, so they're not in the dark on that. I was debating that. I was wondering if I should, just to see how hard it would be for people to figure out how to play this game. It is a 3-person adventure platforming game. It's a visual mess, and it's unplayable at its core. But it's not hard. There's lots of lives and health, good checkpointing. If they can figure out what the hell to do, they'll make it. Trusty has found the map. There it is. That's what we're looking for. Trusty's moving on. hope Drastic starts using charge shots. These piddly shots aren't cutting it. And the reason they don't is because the boss has so many iframes. He has enough iframes to make anything else kind of suck. This is the Genesis Real Monsters game. We'll play the SNES music though, because it's what I have. So we have, what are their names? Let me look that up. I've seen the show, but now Wonka's done. Characters: Ickis, Ablina, and Crumb. The boss, the Gromble. I think that's all we see in this. They have a shoot button. They just throw assorted garbage. They can pick which one of them is in the lead. You do that by pressing A and down. You have a triple move. Trusty's doing it now. That is decided by who you're playing as. The other two will respond to your character and do some triple thing. In this case, lifting Ablina up. That's how you get over that ledge. So that's puzzle 1 figured out. Pressing up and A. There. The arrows are checkpoints. If you just press A, you use a scream, which is kind of weird to put that on that button, but I guess they ran out. The scream is a screen-wide clear. For the record, Ablina's hitbox is as bad as her height. The little dude Ickis is probably the best one to play as in general because of that. But she's the one who gets the high jump. Ickis, if he's in front, they stretch out, and I guess it's for long jump gaps. And the other dude, Rum, if he's in the lead, he takes one of his eyeballs and you golf club it with Ablina as the golf club, and you can go scout ahead. It's pretty dumb. Toe is moving on. Drastic is looking for the way forward. Here's the first boss. Trusty handled this real well. I think giving them the controls is going to be a big help. Stage 2 is a nightmare, though. And I'll tell you what, none of the stuff I just described works very well. Sometimes, like, you're trying to grab a ledge with Ablina's triple tech. I'll just call it a triple tech because that's what it is. If the players are in the wrong place, or if they're not on the right ledge yet, they teleport up eventually. It won't work. It's uncooperative as hell. This game is so ugly. It's hard to see what's going on. Trusty's doing really well. He's golfing now, though. So here's the golf animation in case you wanted to see uselessness. Yeah. I mean, as far as a scouting tool goes, it's pretty good. The start of stage 2 is probably the worst part of this whole challenge. Getting her to climb that ledge when she's not wanting to, and hitting that switch there, mandatory, and just doing all of that for some reason doesn't work right. And you take damage the whole time from things popping out of the ground because they're monsters and they live in this hell. Drastic is done. Moving on to the final game. 2 players are stuck on this first jump. They're gonna have to refer to my directions to get out of here. I fully expect players to get stuck on this kind of crap, and if I didn't tell them the controls, I think all 4 of them would be stuck here. I don't think anyone would have worked it out. The scream button, up and that, up and scream, while selecting the right character, which is done with down and A. Next to the wall. And For the record, she's on slot 3, so you need to cycle twice. So, to get through this one ledge that's just a foot too tall, you have to cycle 3 characters out and then do a triple tech move next to the wall. Toe's done it. Looks like Nawonk's worked it out. At the same time, this is a close race for those two. It's only because they have so much HP and health. They're in good shape here. The OST is cruising. It's already on the next stage. We're on stage 5 on the OST here. I'm pretty sure I got this on a Gong show and could not beat stage 1's first jump here. I couldn't work it out. I worked it out this morning and gave them the controls. And that's why I decided I should do that. Rather than see if they could work it out themselves, I just gave them the directions. I can't help but notice that Trusty is still at the start of stage 2. Their lead is collapsing here. I knew stage 2 would be a hurdle. At its core, this is almost more of an adventure game than it is a platformer. You're gonna have to work out what the hell they want you to do. I'll tell you, the art does change for the better. That's a good thing. Oh, the screams really mess up the boss. That's interesting. I didn't know that. That's a good move. Nawonk making short work of that pup. I think all 3 players are at the same place there, actually, and Trusty is not ahead anymore. Nawonk is in the same area. So if somebody figures out what the hell's going on stage 2, they'll pull ahead real quick in this race. Find those sneakers. Drastic's beating the dog back here. That's finished. Now everyone's on stage 2's intro. It's a long stage too. I'm not going to say what to do until I see everyone past it. But Nawonk is moving forward here. Nawonk is in the lead as of this moment. Oh, they almost fell. Oh, man. Almost again, they did. Oh, jeez. Beaten by a rat. Nawonk, I think, is finally checkpointed. And Toe is in the lead currently, right? Drastic is right there with him, though. Everyone's in the same area now, except for Trusty. I don't think they figured out this first part yet, which everyone else has gotten through. Getting past this crusher is so bad. But it is right in front of a checkpoint. Oblina's the problem here. Her hitbox is so big, that getting through something like that is almost impossible compared to the other characters. Okay, now Wonk's in this section that I thought was a Sonic 2 loop. You know how that one stage goes where it just keeps on rolling until you exit? It's not. It's just 30 pipes in a row. Like literally 30 in a row. It feels like a loop because that's way too many. But you're moving down in the stage. You are. I think now Wonk just reset all their progress, in fact. Because they were impatient. I think they're in a bonus zone, and this is not where you want to be. This has nothing to do with any success. Looks like now Wonk is still in there, and Drastic is working on getting back up. He's getting hoisted by this mouse. Man. Yeah, you really are stuck in there now, Wonk. You've really blown it now. Jeez. Getting into this area in the first place, I can tell you right now, there's nothing here of value. You can beat this stage without coming here, so unless you want to play more of this game and see all the sights, you would never come into this terrible place. Toe is in the lead because they didn't. They abandoned that fan jump. Drastic and Nawonk, they're almost a mirror match of each other currently, as they do very similar things. And back to where they started from. Yeah. Great. With nothing to show for it except for some kind of consumable. A useless thing that it is. Drastic is trying real hard to avoid the pipes. But ultimately, I think they've realized that the pipes are the only move, the only solution. Ride the pipes until they're done. Toe is way in the lead here. I think they're almost finished. This will be an interesting end. It's really close. Is Trusty still at the start? That sucks. They got completely foiled by rail monsters, man. Wonder how much time is left here. Probably a little bit. Let me see. Drastic got here at about 34 minutes. I think we've only been on Our Real Monsters for 15 total. First place is currently pretty contentious, the call. Toe is very close to the end. Nawonk and Drastic are next to him here, but they're not in the same place yet. They're not far at all. They could finish this in a minute if they just do it. If they figure out where to go. They're really close. It looks like Nawonk has made it to the gymnasium. He's first. Nawonk is finishing this race now. We see some new art. We don't get to enjoy it though. Nawonk takes the first place on this race. 43-49. Who's second? Nawonk came in last, third, and then first. Toe is done. Drastic is done. 44-31 and 44-42. Drastic could have just gotten in that dang door just a little bit faster, man, in Double Dragon 2. All that shimmying cost him the game. Let me see what the score is here. Where do we stand? $49-31. Toe is passing on, or Trusty is passing on this last game. I'm gonna tell him what to do here. I've delivered instructions. That was a switch. Hey, thanks Nawong for showing us some more beautiful art. It really isn't that bad. The art, I mean, but the way it's done in game visually is disgusting. It's despicable. Together as a collective, it just looks so gross. It's all too much. Ultimately, Nawonk got first place here, but they needed Trusty Warner to get second. Not Toe, not Drastic Actions. Drastic Actions has 5, Nawonk has 4. Toe and Drastic Actions are moving on. If Trusty Warner was not hoisted by that switch, we would have seen a different result for them. But that's our score. Toe has 6, so they're sure safe. And Drastic with 5 and 4, also moving on. Nawonk got 3rd and last on the first 2, so getting first here was almost, but not quite enough. They needed a very specific order of victories here for a tiebreaker. Like, it wouldn't have even been a win. They would have had to play another match. Man, this music's driving me crazy. Makes me feel like I'm doing stand-up in like 1960. I hate it. Let's call it for now. I don't think I'm gonna finish that one game tonight, but I'll work on it because I'm gonna do that stuff later. With save states maybe, but you know. Yeah. Y'all have a good one. See you tomorrow. We got another match at 9. Maybe I can schedule that to be earlier though. Have a good one.